Welcome back to Big Gold Belt Media. I am Damian G with another film review here on the channel. This time, a film that I didn't expect to like, called The Outrun, directed by Nora Fingshite, starring Saoirse Ronan. I swear to God, I was practicing that at least 4 times to try to get it right. Saoirse Ronan is a hard-hitting film on battling one's addictions and coming to the new phase of life while battling those same addictions every step of the way. So let me just throw this out there right now. It's in theaters right now. It was a hit in the indie circuit, and this was a film I did not expect to thoroughly enjoy as much as I did because of the story, because of what the message was, overcoming addictions and doing it in a way that's a lot of stop and start, as we see throughout this film, as the character of Rona is basically going through the paces of falling into alcoholism and seeing how it affects every single facet of her life. The story takes us place through all the different phases, the battles that she goes through. It's a non-linear flowing story, right? So you're not going to get everything in one even line. You're going to flash back to when she was in college. You're going to flash back to when she was starting rehab. You're going to flash back to when she's dealing with her parents. Like, all these things, when you put the masterpiece together, shows us the stuff that the character of Rona goes through to kind of rise like a phoenix to get out of these depths of her addiction. And it's a lot of start and stop, and I think that's a beautiful thing about this film in the way it was written, and the fact that it's not a one size fits all. You go to rehab and you're good. Like, the story shows us why she wound up in rehab. The story shows us what happens during rehab. The story shows us what's happening after rehab and all the trials and tribulations that go through it. And to be quite frank, those flashbacks, they show us how deep the fall is that Rona is going through within her alcoholism battle, with her eventual one day at a time, and then we rise to normalcy, right? Because we always think that when people are battling an addiction, we want them to come back to normal, but we don't know what that is. If you're not a person who's going through addiction yourself, you would know what normal is in these situations and what it's actually costing her in this film. It's not just she's a party girl, woo, drunk, does dumb things. No, these are life-altering things that happen to her when she's drunk. Even though Rona, throughout the early portion of this movie, is showing you that she's the kind of person that says, I can quit when I want, that thinks they can quit when they want, that denial, that, oh, it'll be okay, I'll never do this again, that kind of energy, defiance, don't tell me what to do. Like, how do I say this? Saoirse's just portrayal of Rona, it ran the gamut of emotions, and I'll get to it a little later, but anger, sadness, depression, it's like going through the 7 stages of grief, right? Or 5 stages of grief, sorry. Wow, I just made up 2. Going through the stages of grief, and you're like, oh no, oh, this is playing out really raw. And I think it's definitely this film, as someone who understands addiction, watching Rona's mannerisms, her outbursts, her interactions, and the like, they're on full display. Full vulnerability, full angst, full anger, full depression, all of it. And you get that in this film. There's no taking shortcuts in how to deal with this and how to navigate not only your addictions, but how those addictions affect the other people in your life and how that in turn affects you. Like, we are taken through it. We went through the paces, baby. And I did not expect to go through that throughout this movie. Now, I will say it's definitely a slow climb to the top for Rona and for the audience, because we're seeing the lowest of lows. And I mean low, I mean bottom of my shoe, subterranean tunnel low. And we're with her step by step, but also we're with her with the missteps. We're with her with the falls and the rise and the fall again. It's like taking 2 steps forward and 3 steps back sometimes. And that's what I got from this film. And like I said, the writing was poignant, because the way Saoirse portrays Rona It's almost like the kid at first that tells you, "Don't tell me what to do," and she grows up throughout this entire movie. You see her from her party girl phase to having a job and having people that she can count on, and trying to mend fences with the people that she's hurt because of her alcoholism. So it's a really interesting journey. And if you don't know addiction, if you don't understand addiction, this film is an actual like shot to the face on showing you what addiction really is and what the cost is of alcoholism. Okay. The film's message hit me like a ton of bricks. Like it really did. And I myself, who has understood addiction in the past, and watching this film strike such a chord with me, I'm sure people who are in a similar situation will feel some type of way while watching this film. From the crazy partying to the ramifications that come after everything is laid out, and it's raw, as raw as humanly possible. And I think a lot of people are going to take something from that. Now, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed this film. I really did. And I advise anybody who wants a hard hitting film that has real life undertones and it's something that can speak to you, then The Outrun is worth checking out. But, I can see why people are saying this is a movie worth Oscar buzz, but it's not a perfect film. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, the non-linear aspect of this film may throw some people off. Honestly, I had to go back and watch it because I had a screener link. I had to go back and watch it a couple of times to make sure I got everything in this film, because we're jumping all over the place. And because this is a tough subject matter, you really have to focus. And if the subject matter isn't something that you're really into, it's going to lose you in the middle of the film, I feel, at least in my estimation. Overall, I'm going to give this film a 7.5 out of 10. The writing was impeccable. Like I said, the middle of the film kind of slogged a little bit because we're waiting to, and I feel like it had to slog because Rona slogged to get to her point A to point C. So the slog may have been intentional, but I feel like the middle portion of the film just seemed to drag a little bit. So 7.5 out of 10. Let me know what you think down in the comments. The Outrun, it is definitely a movie I didn't expect to like as much as I did. I suggest you go see it. It's in theaters now. Go watch it. Support this film because I think it's worth the buzz that it's getting. Let me know down in the comments if you liked it. If you agree with my rating, if you think I'm off, let me know down there as well. Big Gold Belt Media, biggoldbelt.com, your one-stop shop for all things in entertainment coverage. And I am Damien G. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next review. Peace.